Today, you guys get to experience the awesome power of the Rinnegan. So let's get started. First up, let's spawn in some trusty NPCs to help us do our bidding. To shoot, all you need to do is hold the trigger and release. It shoots out one of Jigen's famous chakra rods. This is what they look like. They have a delay set to it, so they automatically despawn so they don't clutter up your game. That's what they look like. They pierce on both sides. Very cool. So, yeah, you can shoot an unlimited number of them. If you do trigger and then the grip, we spawn in a long chakra rod, which, if we get an enemy right here, we can knock them way far away, and of course we can pierce on both ends. This is one of my favorites to do, especially if we summon it, hold the trigger, go up, and then we can immediately stab right through an enemy. Or if it doesn't float your boat, to keep pulling the trigger and doing it like that, and you want a much longer weapon, do that, hold the trigger, now you have a long chakra rod at the base of your hand, easy, throw, and then it pierces whatever you wanted to hit. And just keep in mind there are a lot of different points to this mod, so stay tuned for that. But now, why don't we do the imbue? We reselect the Rinnegan, we imbue our weapon with the Rinnegan, and we slow down time. You will notice, we tap an enemy, and we check on her, her eyes become black. And when she gets up, she is no longer an enemy. But if you guys don't enjoy turning enemies like that, you can always, let's do the Rasen Shuriken. Immediately kill this guy. Yeah, he's pretty dead. Now all we need to do is select the Rinnegan, go grab him. If you pull the trigger, notice we played the Renne rebirth noise. They get reborn as an ally. Hey, pal. Alright, now a couple of the new features. So, we get the Rinnegan. Obviously, I'm just going to use this for an example. If we hold the trigger for longer than 2 seconds, we can now use Ishiki's ability to grow any item. That being said, we do the same thing with the spell button. Notice, it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until, and it becomes about toothpick sized. Which you can use to pierce your enemy still. Everything still works. It's just now you can grow and shrink items as much as you want. It doesn't matter if it's Trials of Shinobi weapons or, let's say we have our trusty sword right here. Let's say you want it to be just a bit bigger. So it's the size of, let's say, that long sword over there. Although this might be a little bit bigger than that. So let's shrink its size. There we go. About the size of a longsword. And of course, with our power right here, can easily pierce and still slash just like normal. And I do have another Ishiki ability which I will show you guys in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. But for now, we have all these trusty NPCs right here. So we select the Rinnegan, we merge it together. This is our visual, pull together, and we have the universal pull, which pulls any nearby enemy right to you. And if we push, all the enemies near us just got knocked back. That is our almighty push. And just so you guys can see the almighty push again without NPCs being too close, why don't we do it just like that? Again, merge, pull apart, just like that. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I got all the proper audios and everything, so everything sounds great and it feels great to use. Now here's where things get a little bit interesting. So if we're holding the Rinnegan, and you know what, for this one, I'm actually going to spawn in a couple more enemies, because there are a few parts to this special ability that I really want to show you guys. And of course, there are a ton of combinations for this spell. I'm going to go over all of them in just a second. Why don't we get rid of these? And I'll leave those there. So all we need to do is select the Rinnegan, pull the trigger, and throw our hand up at a certain speed, and we'll... Oh, that's cool. And we get to summon Ishiki's Disruption. So why don't we do that, and... Oh! Oh, it hit me! Well, you guys get the idea. These disruption cubes, these giant ones, come down from the sky. On collision, they knock back anything within their radius. So, all of these NPCs just got demolished. And for this one... And for this one, I'm just going to show you real quick. There are 7, 8 combinations. 3, 4, Yeah, that's 8 right there. So 8 different things you can change. I'm very, very happy with how these disruption cubes turned out. Spent a little bit of time on Photoshop yesterday making them, and I mean, they look absolutely great. Now that we've gone through that, let's go through all the customizations because they're actually pretty important in this mod compared to the other ones. Although the other ones may be cool, this one definitely has some of my favorite. So obviously, we shoot out the Chakra Receiver, or now we can shoot out Dari's Cleaver Sword, or if you're not feeling that, we have the Demon Wind Shuriken, or Endless Staff Form. There's a whole lot of different things we can shoot out. Depends on that. And then, grabbed weapon. Now we have Madara's Gunbai. Very cool. You can change the speed at which these weapons are being shot out. How long they last for before despawning, the ones that are shot out. We have the merge radius for the universal push and almighty pull. We have the explosion force for both of those. The item size multiplier, so when you're increasing or decreasing a weapon size, how quickly that actually happens. I say the speed, it's just a multiplier for how much size is increased or decreased after 2 seconds. Now, all the fun stuff. So everything we can customize about these disruption cubes. So the speed at which it works, the speed at which it comes down, the cooldown, the radius, the range, so the range at which, how far it spawns. What I'm going to do is set this actually back to the normal so I can show you guys better. So this is what it's supposed to look like, unlike before, where it spawned all of them on top of each other. We go like this, and then there's just a bunch of them that spawned randomly around our head. And as you guys just saw on collision, it exploded and knocked back all these NPCs, which I'm pretty sure it killed them. Yep, yes it did. Okay, very cool. We have our force, so the amount of knockback when they spawn in, the amount of them. So what I'm gonna do is let's decrease the size. Let's do this much, and then increase the amount of them that spawn in to 20. So are you guys ready? So all of these disruption cubes are spawned in. They're all extremely tiny. And on collision, the very first collision with the environment, they explode. So that's why they're knocking back and forth and back and forth. As you guys just saw by that, you can customize the amount of them and the size. You can also customize whether or not they despawn. So if you want them in the arena forever just to keep throwing against enemies, you can easily do that. One thing I did not mention yet, we have the Amano TJ Kara. So, why don't we spawn in this fellow right here with our Rinnegan, and all we need to do is press the trigger and the spell button while holding a weapon, and we automatically swap places with whatever enemy we're looking at. And we can just keep doing it every 1 second or so. So for example, what I'm gonna do, let's get rid of you. And of course the enemies have to be alive for this to work. So if we spawn in an enemy right there, and you know what, let's use 2. You know what? Why don't we use the long chakra rod and the dagger? So he's coming at us. Oh no, whatever will we do? We swap places with him, obviously. He's trying to attack us, but we just end up going right behind him, and we automatically rotate to face him. Come on. Oh, so easy. Come on. Doesn't ever see us coming. And one really fun thing about this is I'm actually going to select the Conway so that I can much more easily fly up here. And you know what? Let's grab this again. Actually, better yet, let's grab a small one. What we can do is, now that we're grabbing this, we can use the Amano TJ Kara, and it swaps places, not only the position on the Y, but the position in general. So if we are way, way up in the sky, like I'm gonna make this guy go right here, select the Kamui, and if we go up while using the Kamui real quick, we can swap places, and the enemy falls to their death. Nice. Oh wow, he's still alive. Well, you know what that means. Let's incorporate a little bit of baseball into this video. Whew. Dang, I hit the fence too? Come on. That was pretty close though. But guys, that is it for the Rinnegan. So if you like this video, you like the mod, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching.